Welcome back to the Barbecue Pit MMA, another Tuesday night prediction show for you tonight. I just want to make a quick announcement. We will be moving into all sports. I'm going to rebrand it the Barbecue Pit Sports. Um, we're going to be moving into NFL, NBA, probably not all sports just because I don't really, follow all sports unless I brought people in that follow like hockey really deep and baseball really deep and stuff like that. Um, Otherwise, it's probably just going to be MMA, football, basketball, college a little bit. I'm going to open it up with a mock draft video. So I'm going to do my annual mock draft that I do, and then I'm going to do a video kind of explaining some of the picks and this and that. And that'll introduce the barbecue pit football. So big things coming there. UFC 273 coming up this weekend. Two title fights: Alexander Volkanovski versus Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, for the featherweight title, and then Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan to unify the bantamweight title. Starting off, Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie. Volkanovski 23-1 in his career. He won the title over Max Holloway at UFC 245 in 2019. Since then, he defended that title twice, winning decisions over Max Holloway and Brian Ortega. He is 10-0 in the UFC, with his only career loss being a TKO loss to Corey Nelson at Australian FC 5, 2013. He's got 11 wins by knockout and 9 wins by decision. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he won Fight of the Night twice in his UFC career, once against Chad Mendez and then once most recently against Brian Ortega. He'll be going up against the always exciting Chan Sung Jung Korean Zombie. He is 17-6. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and judo. He has 6 wins by knockout and 8 wins by submission. Never been spin in his professional career, but the Korean Zombie has been knocked out in 3 out of 6 of his losses. He's 7-3 in the UFC. His 3 losses include Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez, and Jose Aldo. Jose, however you want to say it. His biggest wins in the UFC include Dan Ige, which was his last fight in June of last year, Frankie Edgar, Renato Moicano, and Dustin Poirier. He won Fight of the Night twice against Dustin Poirier and Yair Rodriguez, and then won Performance of the Night bonuses in his wins over Leonard Garcia, Dustin Poirier, Mark Hominack, Dennis Bermudez, Renato Moicano, and Frankie Edgar. So Chan Sung Jung always puts on a show for the fans. He's going up against Volkanovski, who, as of his last few fights, is the same kind of way. He had a war with Ortega. He had 2 wars back-to-back with Max Holloway. His new kind of reinvented fighting style is very, very similar to that of a dogfight, same as the Korean Zombie. So that should be pretty exciting to see. I think it's going to be relatively one-sided. I think Alexander Volkanovski has way better striking. If the fight goes to the ground, I think he's a better wrestler. Korean Zombie might have better submissions. He was the first person, in the UFC to ever pull off a twister. So he gets very creative with his submissions. He's a lanky kind of featherweight, so he can lock up chokes and things like that from the bottom if that's where he gets to. But I think for the majority of this fight, it's going to be standing, and if that is the case, I'm going to go Alexander Volkanovski with the knockout power over the Korean Zombie, who's just going to put a lot of volume on Volkanovski. Volkanovski is a tough guy. He's not easily finished. So my pick, Alexander Volkanovski there. Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan. I'm not going to bet on this one, but I'm picking Aljamain Sterling. Spoiler alert, Aljamain Sterling retains the title. Last fight ended in an illegal knee. Peter Yan was the champion. It was so clearly an illegal knee. Aljamain Sterling became the champion from that. Peter Yan then went on to, I think, beat, who was it? Corey Sandhagen for the interim title. Jan's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He 16-2 in his career. He's never been finished. One of his 2 losses was the disqualification against Aljamain Sterling. The other one was a split decision loss against Magomed Magomedov in 2016, who Magomed Magomedov is one of the better bantamweights in the world right now. I think he's fighting for Bellator or PFL maybe. He's 8-1 in the UFC. Peter Yan, his biggest wins are over Corey Sandhagen for the interim title, Jose Aldo, Uriah Faber, and then Jimmy Rivera. He's got 7 wins by knockout, and he is 8-1 by decision. That is the key to his fight with Aljamain Sterling, because he has not only knockout power, but he has a very, very good gas tank, and that's what Aljamain Sterling does. Aljamain Sterling is known for being a strong bantamweight who has good grappling and has a gas tank that can last him all 5 rounds. He came in and didn't look that strong in his last fight with Jan. He's gone through neck surgery. He's done this and that. So my reasoning for picking him solely comes from, I've seen workout videos. I've seen the way he looks physically leading up to this fight. And if he comes in strong, like strong, and for some reason stronger than Peter Yan, he should be able to take him down. He should be able to hold him down, and he should be able to beat him up while he's on the ground. Just kind of win at least 3 out of 5 rounds on the scorecards. So that's why I picked Aljamain Sterling in the co-main event. And I really, really hope, just as a bias, just biasly, I hope he wins that fight. We've got Gilbert Burns, Khamzat Chimaev. That's a very well-anticipated fight by all the mixed martial arts fans around the world. Khamzat Chimaev has a 4-inch reach and a 4-inch height advantage over Gilbert Burns. He's 10-0 in his career, 6 wins by knockout, 4 by submission. He's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He has a 24-0 professional freestyle wrestling record. 24-0 as a freestyle wrestler. He's 4-0 in the UFC, beat John Phillips, Gerald Mearshart, Heis McKee, and Li Jingliang. He won Performance of the Night in all 4 of his UFC fights. He's going up against a well-decorated Gilbert Burns, who is 20-4 in his career, 6 wins by knockout, 8 wins by decision, never been submitted in his career, but he has been knocked out in 2 out of 4 of his losses, one of those knockouts being Dan Hooker at lightweight. The other one being to Kamaru Usman, the champion, so no knock there. He's 5-1 at welterweight. Since coming back to welterweight, he beat Stephen Thompson, which was his most recent, Tyron Woodley, Damian Maia, Gunnar Nelson, and Alexei Kunchko. And then, of course, his one welterweight loss was to Kamaru Usman. He's a 3rd-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, meaning if this fight hits the ground, it is going to be scrambles for days. I think the thing that makes me lean way far towards Khamzat Chimaev is, you hear people who train with the guy, and they say that he's stronger than light heavyweights. He's at 170 pounds, but he gets in the gym and he just manhandles guys that weigh in on fight night 205. So these guys are like 220, 230 pounds in the gym when he is manhandling them all around the gym. And that's crazy for a skinnier guy. I mean, like, that's like Khabib type strength in wrestling. You know what I mean? So I think if the fight hits the mat, I think Khamzat has it no matter what. I think Gilbert Burns is a really, really scrappy striker. But so is Chimaev, man. And I think, Chimaev's early in his career. He hasn't been tested like Gilbert Burns will test him. But I think that's exactly what Chimaev needs in his career to kind of further himself and make himself a name to where he can be considered a contender in the welterweight division. Hoping there's no tornadoes coming right now. There's heavy winds coming up. So I'm going to go Chimaev. I don't know if I was getting at that, if you guys got that or not, but I'm definitely going Khamzat Chimaev there. Mackenzie Dern versus Tisha Torres should be a good scrap. I think it's pretty easy to see who should be the winner at the end of this one, even though the odds are pretty close, way closer than any of the first 3 fights, which is confusing to me. Dern is 11-2, 6-2 in the UFC, with her only losses being to Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Ribas. She has 7 wins by submission, and she has never been finished in her professional career. She has UFC wins over Nina Nunes, Ronda Marcos, Hannah Cyphers, and Ashley Yoder. She got a submission win over Montana De La Rosa in her 2nd professional fight prior to the UFC. Professional grappling record of 75, 25, and 1. Black belt in jiu-jitsu, 22 gold medals in grappling. And she's coming into this fight with a 2-inch height and a 3.5-inch reach advantage. Tisha Torres is normally a conditioning fighter. She's normally get to all 5 rounds, outstrikes for those 5 rounds, has the gas tank to get there into the 3rd to 5th round, whatever the fight ends at. And she's not really I wouldn't say she's that proficient as Dern is in either striking or grappling. She's never been Torres has never been finished a professional career. 11 out of 13 of her wins though are via decision. She's got 2 finishes, one by submission over Juliana Lima in 2017, and then one was her knockout win over Sam Hughes at UFC 256. She's on a 3-fight winning streak right now with wins over Brianna Van Buren, Sam Hughes, and Angela Hill. Blue belt in jiu-jitsu, black belt in karate. I want to talk about that 3-fight win streak, man. Brianna Van Buren, it was her either UFC debut or second fight in the UFC. Sam Hughes, second or third fight in the UFC when they fought. And then Angela Hill, I think she beat her by split decision. So 3-fight winning streak looks really good on paper. But when you dig deeper into those 3 fights, it's kind of like, whoa, man, like one of them could have been a loss. 2 of them were against women who are very, very new into the UFC. And Tisha Torres is kind of a UFC vet. So I didn't preview Alexia. I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern. I feel like she should be way more of a favorite than she is, but I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern. Alexia Oleinik versus Jared Vanderaa. I did not preview that fight because I thought up until I would say like 2 o'clock today, I could have swore it was Alexia Oleinik versus Ilir Latifi, and they were just moving the fight from 2 weeks ago. And they were moving it to this fight card. And then I look at it and I see Jared Vanderaa. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go doing a bunch of research, and it turns out, yes, Latifi is out of that fight again. It's going to be Vanderaa. So I was going to go off my old notes for Alexia Oleinik or Latifi, so I got nothing on Vanderaa. So I'm not going to preview that at all, but that fight will be on the main card, I think. Also on the prelims, we're going to see Aspen Ladd versus Raquel Pennington, Ian Gary, the next Conor McGregor, going against Darian Weeks, Anthony Hernandez taking on Josh Friend, who's making his UFC debut, Junizo Rosenstreich versus Marcin Tybura, which should be a great heavyweight fight, Mickey Gall versus Mike Melot, who is also making his UFC debut, Julio Ars versus Daniel Santos, also UFC debut, Mark Madsen versus Vince Pichel. I think that also got moved to the main card. That should be a great fight. And then Pierre Rodriguez versus Kay Hansen. Kay Hansen, one of the youngest fighters in the UFC. Always great to see young up-and-coming fighters competing in the UFC. That was weird. Very, very weird. We have some crazy storms going on here today. Tornado warnings, fucking rain, floods, all sorts of weird shit going on here today. So everything's kind of been falling down out there and fucking water everywhere. What the fuck? So it's all been pretty crazy. Anyway, that's UFC 273. Let's take one more look into what is next really quick. What's up, Eddie? Glad to see you. I'm glad to see you get back into the MMA shit, man. MMA world really missed you. Chilling, man. Nothing much. Just got my previews done. I got a UFC 273 main card preview done. I'm going to look into what card is next after that. April 16th, we got Luque versus Beal Muhammad at the Apex, maybe? Yeah, at the Apex. So back to the Apex. I think they got 2 more scheduled too. I think it was May 7th and 14th. Or no, 14th and 21st. I'm sorry. They got permission to do at the Apex as well. Let's see how many we have. 1, 2. We'll have 2 more of these. Yeah, man, keep your head up, brother. I mean, depression really does suck, but you gotta keep finding a way to keep going, brother. And I know you're into that type of scene, the Kurt Cobain scene. So probably is a sad day with his anniversary here, but keep your head up, man. Know that you got people around you that love you, and keep going. Put one foot in front of the other, and keep making MMA content. I don't know if you probably weren't here in the beginning, but I'm going to start transitioning into a sports page. So dealing with like football, basketball. I'm still going to stick with MMA as well, but that's what I was saying. There's going to be 2 more, this preview and the next week's preview. And then after that will be the first Barbecue Pit football post. We're going to do a mock draft for the NFL. So we're going to be moving into that. Big things coming up, man. Big things. What do we got? What else we got? I want to give another shout out too to fucking Eddie since he's here because I want to see it, man. So I know you didn't post it, and I seen it mad late, and you already posted. Oh, nobody wants to see it, so I didn't want to say anything after the fact. But I do want to see the interview with Mayhem, where you said Mayhem was freaking out on you, and everybody else. I don't know why nobody else got on that on Twitter. I know I seen it mad late, but Eddie posted on Twitter saying he's got an interview with Mayhem. He posted like a little 10-second clip of just Mayhem going crazy. And I don't know if you got it posted on YouTube or whatever, but if you ain't trying to post it, send it to me, please, because I'm trying to hear that shit. I used to love Mayhem, man, back in the day. Bully beat down, all that shit. So it's sad. It's kind of sad to see, what path he's taken in life, but I mean, and it's just drama shit. It's just him bugging out, but it's still, I mean, that's what entertains people, is seeing conflict, drama, shit like that. That's sadly enough, I mean, Chris Rock and Will Smith are they shut. I'm gonna upload it. Fuck it, I was gonna upload it tomorrow night. He was my idol. Yeah, I don't know why it won't let me fucking post fuck it. I mean, I say fuck it like 50 times a fucking episode, but it won't let him type fuck it. But yeah, man, drama sells, brother. But yeah, it sucks to meet your idols. I've always said that when you meet your idols, you kind of everybody gets let down. It no matter who your idol is or what. I mean, maybe some people get lucky. Maybe some people's idol is fucking, Elon Musk or something, or some fucking just some nice ass people, but. Most of the time, it's not, man. Most of the time, you get let down, and that really sucks that happened with Mayhem. I'm glad I wasn't on the phone with him, but yeah, I seen that little clip, and I remember when it happened because I don't know if we were still doing the website or not, but at some point, I remember hearing something about him going back and forth with you, and oh no, you know what? No, I remember the Tai Tuivasa shit is what I remember. I remember like something about like a Instagram video or some shit where you and Tai Tuivasa were going back and forth. I don't think it was Mayhem, but that shit was crazy too. But hey, man, that's it for this week. Sorry, I know you came in at the end of the video. I'm getting off right as you get on, but got to go run inside and take care of some shit real quick. But I appreciate you stopping through, Eddie. Keep doing your thing. Like I said, keep your head up. And on to the next day, brother. What's the matter? He said, wait. Blades. Beats. Beats? I don't know, man. That's tough. That's big time tough. I'd say the way Blade's been fighting, probably. But, I mean, that just goes to Tom Aspinall hasn't really fought anybody for the caliber of Curtis Blades. And Curtis Blades has been fighting like a fucking maniac. Like he wants the title, you know what I'm saying? So I would have to look into it more. I'd have to like look at some film and shit like that. But I would probably take Curtis Blades over Tom Aspinall. Magny versus Wonder Boy. Magny, because Magny's got good grappling. Barbarina. I got Magny because of the grappling. And then I got Barbarina over Lawler because Lawler's washed. It's sadly to say, but I think Lawler's a little bit washed and Barbarina's a fucking nut job. But yeah, man, hit me up, DM me. I'll come on there. Just let me know when you're gonna be doing it, this and that, and we'll call on Zoom or whatever the fuck it is. But hit me up, brother. I'll come on there whenever you want. You hit me up, and we got topics to talk about. I'll holler at you because I got fucking words to say. You know what I'm saying? But Like I said, man, I'll catch you next week. Hit me up in the DMs. We'll talk about coming on to Pure Evil. Until next time, guys, stay barbecued. You guys know what it is. Shout out Evil Eddie. RIP Kurt Cobain.